157 and I'm only on page 75. If that's the roller coaster, I don't know if I can handle this. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I come to you in my comfy clothes because we are about to read A Court of SilverFlame. I and like so many other people are super excited for this book. And we're just gonna dive right in. I just don't want to take the time to annotate. I'm really not in the mood for it. I walked into work and I was like, I'll take that, because I did work on the 16th. That's when we kind of reopened, so I picked it up right away. I'm super excited. I talked to my mom on the phone last night and I told her about it and I was like, I'm so excited. She was like, you have to tell me how it is. So I'm really excited to start. Also, NF dropped Clouds last night at 12 a.m. My new favorite song. It's freaking amazing. It was so good. Oh my gosh. So anyways, enough of that. So my plan is to hopefully finish this by Monday. It's Thursday right now. I do work a few hours tomorrow, but not till the afternoon. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll probably be done it before then, but we're just gonna read our little bums off and we finish it when we finish it. Sorry. But anyways, let's get reading. That epilogue, not epilogue, what are those? If that's how the first 4 pages of this book are, I got chills from reading just that. Maybe I will have to annotate as I read this, like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to annotate while I read this. I take back everything I said. Okay guys, I decided to move location. I'm in my bed. I have my phone, which is hooked up to our Bluetooth speaker alarm in our room. And I'm just gonna find something. I did find a reading playlist a few weeks ago, so I might play that if I can find it again. But it's literally called Reading Music by Pryve, P-R-Y-V-E. So I'm just gonna play that. I have my tea. I have my pouch, which has sticky notes, markers, highlighters, all of that good stuff. I have the book, and then I also have this little notebook that I use to kind of rip out. And if I have something that's like super crazy I want to write about and stick in here, I will I'll write the page number at the top and then I kind of just compile them at the end, because normally, yeah, Normally there are a few empty pages at the back, so I'll normally, if it's like a big paragraph and I know I don't want to write on the actual pages or whatever, I'll write them in here. I'll also do like a little key, what all of the colors mean, if it's highlighted or not highlighted, all of that good stuff I'll write on a page and stick it in the back as well. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. Shuffle play the playlist. And we're just gonna start. I had to do a whole revamp of this because after reading the first few pages, what is it, the prologue, the prelude, whatever that is, it's 4 pages, and it got me, totally changed my plan of what I wanted to do. So yeah, we're just gonna start. Okay, little update. I am 75 pages in, chapter 6. Have a few little things that I have noted. First thoughts, it's pretty good. There are some things that I'm like that have happened or have been said or recalled so far, and I'm really enjoying it. We literally got sad, oh shit, to hilarious within a few moments. If this is the roller coaster that's going to happen, I don't know if I'm ready for it. Like, and then later on, it's like later on or like the beginning of chapter 5, we get, after she ate, we get to the part and Cassian's like reliving the last, like those moments they had on the battlefield in Aqua War, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's a roller coaster. We go from sad to my heart is broken to oh no he didn't to hilarious to sad to what the hell is going on. It's just within a few pages. And like I said, if this is the roller coaster already and we're only on page 75, and how many pages are in this book? 757, and I'm only on page 75. If that's the roller coaster, I don't know if I can handle this. And I'm almost halfway through my goal for the day. And yeah, we're just gonna continue on trekking. I am really enjoying it. Nesta has been one of those iffy characters for me. So yeah, I think I really started to fall in love with Nesta when she was kind of like, I think it was in Akamath, and it was kind of when she confronted Feyre before they met with the queens or something like that. I can't remember exactly when, but when she confronts Feyre and Feyre kind of lays bare her story in the Fey world and like beyond the wall, and Nesta's like, she was never fooled. Like the Tamlin's I'm totally blank. I'm totally blanking on the word, but his manipulation of the mind and like the story that he fed them of what Feyre was going to do. Nesta had said that she never believed it. It didn't work on her, and she was happy that Feyre had gotten free of their life in the human world, regardless of the pain she had to go through to be with Rhys. And that scene made me really think Nesta was more of a stubborn but solid character. I think Sarah J. Maas really captured Nesta in like the best way possible, and I think her intention with Nesta's character was to make us hate her and love her and hate her and love her in an easy sense of the world, because she is such a complex main character. And I am enjoying getting a look into her mind and really seeing what's going on there. So I am really enjoying it so far. But yeah, we're going to get back to reading, and I will update you guys in a bit, I guess. Or if anything crazy happens or I need to talk about it. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. It is the next morning. It's 8 o'clock. I took my husband to work. I have my water. And I have my coffee. I do have some things I want to say. Hold on, my puppers is coming. Oh. Come on in, baby. Hi. I also have my stuff. The most important, the book. I read up to 326 last night, so I'm almost halfway, and let me tell you, some things have happened. So, I feel like Eris isn't such a big asshole. Like, he said that like he was an asshole, but like, he's not an asshole. I feel like he's not an asshole, guys. I don't know. But we did get a little bit of insight into Tamlin. Okay, I don't like Tamlin really at all. I wasn't a really big fan of Tamlin from the get-go, to be fair. That he told Feyre, be happy, and resurrected Rhys. Like, that earns him brownie points in my book, but I still don't like him. And like now, Eris kind of hints at Tamlin being full-time in his beast skin. And he doesn't really have anybody in Springcourt anymore. He doesn't have anybody to rule. The palace, or his mansion, is like overrun with roses and plants. He's not there. So, I don't know, like, I feel like Tamlin suffered. Is he still an asshole? Is he in the wrong of so many things? Yes. But I feel like he's grasped liked that, and he knew that Farah was truly happy when he told her at the end, before resurrecting Reese, like, be happy, Farah. Like, he finally got it, I think. And the fact that his most trusted person, Lucien, was like, dude, like, I feel like he's finally realized all of that, which is why he has been in his, like, beast form. So, enough of that. I'm starting chapter 30. I made it way past where I wanted to last night, so without further ado, I'm going to stop talking and start reading. Oh, that's good coffee. Are you all right? Yes. No. Though not for the reason he believed. Good, he groaned, stretching first his arms, then his wings. Muscles rippled. Do you want to talk about it? No. That's fine. And with that. And that was that. But Cassian threw her a half smile, and it was so normal, so him in a way that no one else was or would ever be, that her throat tightened again. You want breakfast? Nesta managed to answer his half smile with one of her own. I like your priorities, General. Like, he's so concerned about her, but will never push her, so he changes the subject to something lighthearted. It just makes my heart happy. Hey guys, so it's been a few days, or a day. Like I said, I was going to do the wrap up for Court of SilverFlame in the next day or two when I collected my thoughts, and I have a lot of them. So this was like a 110 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved this book. So I'm just going to start off with Nesta. I may say some things or reiterate things that I've already said in this video while actually reading, but that was a whirlwind, and I'm not going to go back and look at all the footage just to not say what I've previously said. So, starting with Nesta, I have had a roller coaster of liking her and not liking her, and the moment I actually started to like Nesta was when Feyre goes back to her home in the human lands with the inner circle, and Nesta says, like, tells her that Tamlin's magic didn't work on her, and she was glad that she got out of their home and she was in a better place, and told her not to come back. That was when I formed a real bond with Nesta. I think that's when she really showed that she actually cared. She wasn't just an asshole for fun and games. And in this book, I like that we got more of her past and why she is the way she is, and Feyre and Elaine's kind of outlook on Nesta is, like, why she's so cold and distant, and their outlook of her and her mother's relationship, and then Nesta's insight to their relationship. You really get a deep in look of her mind, considering we have her own point of view and her own thoughts and her own grief, and it really, I love the journey. And I watched a live of Sarah and Steph, and she said that Nesta really works for the ending. She really works on herself and her journey, and she deserves the ending that she gets. And I completely agree. I loved that Sarah, I did read the end of like her thank yous. And in there she talked about how this was such a long road for her personally, and her own mental health. And we see that really in this book. We have Nesta who finally finds some friends that just see her as Nesta. She's not the one who came out of the cauldron. She's not Feyre's sister. She's not the human person. She's just Nesta to Emery and Gwen, and we see her come out of her shell with them, which I really love. But we see her start the Valkyries, and we see her really push for that and change the way that women warriors are seen, and how she kind of just breaks down the walls of like, there's a lot of talk in this book about how Illyrians are very slow for change, and Nesta just doesn't care. She just pushes forward, and we really see that. But we also see her go through her mental health one slow step at a time, and with meditation and with breathing techniques and trying to still her brain and the house. I love how she made the house an entity. Sarah, she did such a good job with that. But yeah, I really loved Nesta's mental journey, and I think it's the most complex one we'll see in this world, and she chose the perfect person to make that, to write this type of story for. And I think a lot of people can relate to Nesta in some type of way, and she just did a very beautiful, amazing job writing her character. Moving on to Cassian. He's always been one of my favorites. He's just so quirky and funny, but he's also a warrior, and he's strong, and he doesn't really let people see what he's thinking or what he's feeling, and we really get a dive into his past and his mother and his journey becoming the warrior he is. And we get to see more of the trilogy, the group of guys with Azriel and Rhysand, and it's just so refreshing considering this book is so heavy. But I love that Sarah wrote in those really heartwarming moments. She brought back the annual snowball fight, and I loved that. She also brought in a lot of steamy scenes, but also some really heartwarming scenes of just Cassian's point of view and how he sees Nesta. And it was just really, really wonderful. He's her advocate, he's her warrior, and I loved it. Now on to the things I did not like about this book. But I think Sarah wrote it for us to feel this way, to be fair. The inner circle, the rest of the inner circle and how they feel about Nesta, they are fucking assholes. I was like, seriously? Like, all of you have had your moments. Like, all of them have had their, like, months or years or weeks of being in themselves and doing things that they necessarily shouldn't have done, and, like, lost themselves a little. And I think for them to just spew that on Nesta as, like, she had a few months and, like, now all of a sudden she's a burden. Like, I think that was really ridiculous. And like I said, I think Sarah wrote the book to make us feel like this. And she did a great job with it. But there were just a lot of double standards that I did not like. Like, Rhys's outlook to her and how rude he is. And Amren, I get that Amren is a blunt, upfront person. She doesn't joke around. She is who she is, and that's what you're gonna get. But at the same time, like, she's a bitch, man. Like, there were things that could have been handled so differently than what they did. And I just felt so bad for her, and I just got so mad at everybody for treating her like that. Like, you're saying you're trying to help her and you're giving her space and you're trying to let her work through her own things, but you're shitting on her and thinking the most horrible things about her the entire time. Like, that's not helping anybody. And like, having that double standard, and like, Nesta said it perfectly in the fact of like, Elaine didn't eat for months and she went down this spiral and she almost died, and like, everybody was coddling her, and when Nesta went through that, it was like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I just felt like everybody was such an asshole to her. And like, that really hit me in my heart, in my core, because like, instead of people asking her how she's doing, instead of people being like, do you need anything, or I'm here if you want to talk, like, they just set her to like, left her to herself and left her, and like I said, had these like awful thoughts about her. And like, nobody's seen the pain in her eyes, and I feel like we got a lot of that, and it made me really emotional because she's such a good person. And I feel like we all go through these things of when we're angry, we may say things we don't mean, or like, other people, when they're angry, they say things to us, and Nesta hates that part of herself, but at the same time, she's trying to fix it, and nobody sees that she's actually working on herself. Like, I don't know, like, the little updates about Nesta, like, why not just ask her herself? Like, ask her yourself. Like, instead of having people come in and check on her and seeing how she's doing. Like, Elaine goes back to Feyre and she's like, nothing's changed, she's still the same person. And it's like, you've seen her for 5 minutes. Like, who, like, how, like, you don't know who, like, there's not even words to put in how annoying that was to read. Like, nobody has actually sat down with Nesta and been like, how are you doing? Do you need anything from us? Like, they just throw these horrible thoughts at her, and like, it's just so annoying. And it was really hard to to read and to see that play out. But moving on. So yeah, the inner circle really let me down. And how it ended, like, everything's just fine and dandy. Like, really? That hurt me. Like, I get Nesta became a better person and she is fine, or she's 10 times better in her in her own skin and in her mindset than when we started. When she started her journey. But like, you guys were such assholes to her, and like, she saves all of their lives, and now they're all like, oh my god, I'm so grateful for you. Like, fuck you, in my opinion. Like, I didn't do it for any of you. Like, maybe she did it for Feyre. And I think Gwen and her sister story really played into that. And made Nesta realize how important sisterhood is. But at the same time, I think that was one thing that I wish Sarah didn't write so the way she did it. Like, everything was just fine and dandy at the end and everybody's happy-go-lucky, when the whole book is them shitting on her. And Nesta to just take that and be like, yeah, everything's great. Like, no. Like, if I was Nesta, I would have confronted them. You know, I don't know. That really, really annoyed me in how everything was just fine at the end. Like, you just treated her like shit for, like, almost an entire book. And then she saves lives and everybody's like, oh, Nesta, like, you're our savior. Like, fuck you, in my opinion. What else can I say? Eris? I knew from day one that Eris was an asshole, but at the same time, I feel like he's very similar to Rhysand in the fact of, like, he's an asshole to everybody else, but he's actually like a big gooey gummy bear inside. And he does the things he does for a reason. And like, it's like the inner circle has these horrible double standards for everybody who isn't them. Like, and like Rhysand out of everybody should understand or to think, hey, maybe Eris isn't doing this because he's just an asshole. Maybe he's doing this for another reason. Maybe I should ask in not a condescending asshole way. So it's really annoying. And yeah, I just think, and I think Sarah writes this on purpose. I think she does think about these things and how her characters are coming off, and I think she does it on purpose. But the fact that it's just such a double standard with, like I said, with everybody who's not them, like the core group, like, and it's just so annoying. Like I said, out of everybody, you would think that Rhys would maybe think about something other than himself and Feyre and his own land. Like, I get you're a ruler and you need to think about them, but like, it's like everybody who's not them, like I keep saying, is like the horrible person and is doing everything out of spite, and he doesn't, like, they don't care about anybody but themselves, when in reality, I think a lot of people are doing exactly what Rhys did under the mountain. They're acting like assholes to get something, or to save something, or to keep something sacred, or just the fact that they're going through something so deep inside themselves, like Nesta, that they come off and they're hiding it. And it never once occurs to anybody except Cassandra in the Eris situation and with the Nesta situation that something else could be going on. And it's just so frustrating to read and to watch play out. But at the same time, those thoughts added to the experience. And like I said, I think Sarah really thinks about how her characters are coming off, and I think she really thinks and cares about how readers are going to see her characters, and I think everything she does is done on purpose. So yeah, overall, this book was amazing. It really touched my heart. I literally posted on my stories when I first started reading this, was like, I think it was on page like 76 or 75 or something like this, and I was like, I just went from crying to happy to hilarious to crying to no, he did not say that within the span of 2 pages. And I was like, if this is how this book is gonna go, I don't know how I'm gonna survive. And I barely made it. Barely made it. I don't think I really touched on Nesta and Cassian together. My heart, man, the steamy scenes were steamy. I'm upset we didn't get a threesome, considering Sarah kind of, you know, made us all think that was gonna happen. But it didn't take away from the story whatsoever. But yeah, I loved their banter back and forth, and I love their growth, and I love how Feyre still has that double standard with Nesta, but at the same time, she tells Cassian, like, just keep trying, just keep putting your hand out, or was it Amren? I don't know. And it's reminded, and it's said so many times throughout the book, and I think that Sarah did that on purpose for us, to just for everyday life. Like, if you see someone struggling or you see someone being a complete asshole, just stick your hand out and keep doing it, because eventually they're gonna take it. And I think that was a really big theme to this book was a lot of mental health and Nesta really finding herself. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about. So coming to the end of this video, that's all I'm going to say on A Court of SilverFlame. She's a big one, but she was amazing. I will see you guys for my next video. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend, a good weekday, day or night. And I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.